Hello guys, so welcome to the L channel. It has been long I've posted some content. I'm back again. So if you have content you want me to post, please kindly put on the description below. Subject matter you want me to explain, subject matter you want me to explain, you can kindly paste it in the in the comment section. I will be happy to go through it and be able to create a lot of content in regards to it. Back again. So now in this part one video series I'm going to many people have been asking me I should make video on Git, Vim, EMAC and Vagrant, and I'm going to make it by God's grace. In this part one we'll be looking at Git, which is a GitHub. It's a kind of a platform where developers, people who collaborate with a lot of people, debugging, writing code, pushing, pulling, all those things. I'm going to show you how to do the software. We're going to, go through it step by step. How to, upload a repository, how to create a repository, how to collaborate, how to, do a lot of it with GitHub, and if possible how to create a website using the domain name of Git, which is free of charge. So that's what we'll be looking at. Git, which is also GitHub. So now the next one we'll be looking at is Vim. Vim is like an open source text editor. Vim is also full meaning of VI improved. So it was created by Brand Molina. So it's just like a text editor. You can put your code, and run your code. So it's a text, basically a text editor. Then we're looking at EMAC. We're looking at EMAC, which is also macros. It's just like a text editor, but it kind of has its own generic form. So now the next one we're looking at is Vagrant. So in order to run Vagrant, we'll be having some other tools in which you need a virtual toolbox. You can use VirtualBox, or you can use the VMware. All these you need all those tools in order to run Vagrant. Basically most of my codes I'll be using Vagrant. I have a video on how to do a step-by-step installation process of Vagrant. You can check my video series about Vagrant and you can see it. So next we'll be looking at low-level programming, specifically C programming language. So there are a lot of low-level programming language. So we have machine language, all those ones that are dealing with ones and zeros. We have assembly language, all those ones that will be dealing with different kinds of specific functions such as move, add, sub, all those kind of those are assembly language. So but basically in this series we'll be looking at C programming language. We'll be looking at Hello World. After Hello World, which is the introduction, we'll look at variables, if, else, why. We'll look at functions, nested functions. We'll look at debugging. We'll look at more functions and more nested loops. We'll look at pointers, arrays, strings. What is the difference between a pointer and array? What is the difference between an array and strings? We'll be looking at recursion. We'll be looking at static libraries. We'll be looking at argument C, argument V. We'll be looking at malloc. We'll look at more malloc. We'll look at preprocessors. How can one use a preprocessor in a C language? We'll be looking at functions and pointers. We'll be looking at variable dictionary functions. We'll be looking at singly linked list. We'll be looking at more singly links. We'll be looking at bit manipulation. How can you manipulate a bit? We'll be looking at phi I/O, that is phi input output. We'll be looking at doubly linked lists. We'll be looking at dynamic libraries. We'll be looking at hash table and make files. So all this will be under low level programming, specifically C programming language. So I'm going to see how I can make a series of using machine language. We'll see how we can create something. We'll also be looking at using assembly language, but those two, both machine language and assembly language, are basically used for making of hardware applications, right? Yeah, hardware application. Maybe if you are running all those maybe if you want to use it for Raspberry Pi and other advanced softwares, that's when we're dealing with all those assembly language. Or if you want to create RAM, if you want to create ROM, all these hardware stuff like RAM, ROM, all those motherboard configuration, you need all those assembly language. But that's not what we'll be looking. But as time go on, we'll see how we can touch that. So now, in regards to high level programming, we'll be looking at specifically Python. So Python is one of the common programming. It's like, how would I say, it's a kind of top programming language that I think everybody should be able to learn now. It should be like your top priority, because artificial intelligence is really moving at this fast pace. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, all these things are being powered by Python. And you have a lot of resources. If you want to go into machine learning, you need to have this scikit-learn, you need to have sklearn, you need to have Jupyter, Anaconda, TensorFlow. All these are machine learning related applications. So as time goes, we're going to also touch that. So under high level programming, we're looking at Python. We're looking at Hello World, introduction to Python programming. We're looking at if else loop function. We're looking at input modules. How can we import modules into Python? So now assuming you're doing a mathematical calculation, you want to say 5 times 6, you want to say 7 times 8, you need the mass module, and that mass module you need to import it, right? Somebody has already run the code, but all you just need to do is to import the module. So when you import the module, whatever you're doing, you're going to now be using the modules of that functionality to run that code. So we'll be looking at data structures, we'll be looking at more data structure, exception, we'll be looking at classes, test driven development, how to test doc strings. We'll be looking at more classes, everything is object. We'll be looking at inheritance, we'll be looking at OOP, that is object oriented programming. We're looking at input output. Okay, you want a user to send an input, okay, you want it to display an output. So all this, we're looking at this. So we're looking at SQL, SQL introduction. We'll touch it small. So in regards to system engineering, DevOps, and we'll also be looking at JavaScript. Yeah, we'll look at JavaScript. If you're very good in JavaScript, you should be able to use Node.js, React.js. All these are under JavaScript. Vue.js, all of this uses the functionality of JavaScript. So under system engineering develops, we'll just be looking at shell basics, shell permission, shell redirection. All these things you don't need. All you just be using is your command line. Shell basic, shell permission, shell redirection. So all these shell things are being is kind of the hardcore of how Linux engine is being programmed. When we look at loop condition and passing, processor signal, regular expression, networking basic, web infrastructure, configuration, web server, web stacking. This is just part one, because we have a lot of things to learn during this series that will be posting into on the YouTube channel. Please, if you can kindly like, share and subscribe. And secondly, we'll be going into machine learning, artificial intelligence, testing data set, how to create a model. We'll just be working on simple models, like how to detect a dog, how to train a data set, how to understand machine learning. Okay, what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, what is what is deep learning, all those robotic cars, how do they use, how do a robotic car work, how do a self-driving car work. Okay, self-driving car requires different kinds of sensors. It needs a laser, it needs a radar, it needs a for the eyes to see, it needs a lot of sensors to be able to get it, like ultrasonic sensor to measure distance. Okay, an object is coming out front at this distance, if it's at this distance, turn left. So we'll be looking at all those things, but subsequently that will be what we'll be looking next. So basically we'll be looking at Git for now, Vim, EMAC, Vagrant, then low level programming language. Then we'll look at high level programming language, system engineering develops. Then we'll now touch a lot of other stuffs, because the age of AI has come and we need to catch up with it. Thank you. Please, if you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe, and please turn off your notifications so that if I drop a new video, you kindly be the first to get it. Thank you.